4 people will compete for the role of Devon and Cornwall Police and Crime Commissioner this year, each of them with very different backgrounds. Conservative Alison Hernandez has been in the job since 2016. During that time, the region has recorded the second lowest crime rate in the country. Ms Hernandez wants that to continue, but needs more money. So she's planning to raise the police's share of council tax by 6% in the coming year.
Every increase in that council tax goes on police officers. We're going to have now 498 extra police officers in Devon, Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly. And I promise people they will start to be seen in the next year or so. So there's something to come there.
The number of officers in the force has been cut by around 500 over the last decade. So I asked Ms Hernandez whether this new cohort simply puts us back where we started.
Yeah, well, we'll exceed that. In 2022-23, we'll have over 3,600 police officers in the force, so we will exceed what we had in 2010 before austerity. The challenge for us is to get that investment visible to the public, get the old-fashioned foot patrol back out and visible and seen in our communities. That's what we know helps prevent crime, and the Chief Constable's very clear that he's looking forward to be doing that this year.
Liberal Democrat Brian Blake served 31 years as a police officer and says he understands the pressure the force has been under, having to enforce COVID rules and deal with growing social unrest.
I think they've had a rough time of it, without any doubt. There's been more and more legislation piled into the criminal law, which they are obliged to enforce. And the police and crime bill has come up for some controversy, and people are demonstrating against that. The right to demonstrate is enshrined in the Human Rights Act, Article 12, but there can be no excuse whatsoever for violence at demonstrations at all. The amount of officers needed is growing all the time, and that is, as I see it, the biggest issue is funding. And to that extent, we in Devon and Cornwall are below the national average.
Former naval officer Gareth Derrick, standing for Labour, does not have policing experience, but hopes he can win votes by drawing on his military and business know-how.
This is not about being a police expert. This is about being a citizen with an awareness about what's going on, being able to read the public, being able to read what's right and what's wrong. Policing is only one part of the problem. So I want to spend more money, sensibly, on cost-effective crime prevention. Unfortunately, that does mean, in a better world, more money going to other areas around policing, such as health services, education, youth services. But I want to do what I can to create innovative partnerships with local authorities and other agencies to help crime prevention. Having worked at sort of quite senior positions in the Royal Navy, I've been in situations where I'm pulling in multitudinous strands of operations going on in a complex, dynamic environment, and I think that's the kind of skill that I have, which may make me sit on top.
Stuart Jackson, a former police training officer, is standing as the Green Party candidate. He wants to focus on making the force more accountable and sustainable.
Why is it that so few of our police buildings have solar panels on them? Why is it that there isn't a wind turbine in the huge area of land at Midlandmore Police Headquarters? What can we do to better manage the police estates? Because we are facing species extinction. If we don't manage the police land, police vehicles and police buildings with the environment in mind, then we are failing all the young people of Devon and Cornwall, the young people in Bideford, the young people in Truro who came out on the streets to march for climate change, to protest about species extinction. The police need to set an example.
So now you've met the 4 hopefuls, on May the 6th, the choice is yours. Sam Blackledge, ITV News.
One of the reasons we had